After a massive wave of hating, I still managed to receive a good amount of positive comments, such as this comment right here, for instance, from Myron. I appreciate for supporting my point of view. That means a lot. That means I'm doing something right. Can't really change people's minds. That's up to them. But I'll be proving my point of view here in my video. Most people and most YouTubers fell for media narratives and mass-produced outrage. And that's exactly what this video is all about. After I posted my last video, I was flooded with negative comments or with just comments of people supporting only one side of the story. I can see where some people coming from. I can even agree with some of them. However, there are some people that do not come at me with a criticism, but just a straight up hate. I'm going to pull up on the screen a couple of comments which promote the hate. For instance, this guy says, you can Russians just shut down. Fuck, I mean, first you gotta fix your English. You can talk and stupid Vitaly. He's not going anywhere. He's going to prison in the Philippines. Russian man. He abuses the system. That's the definition of a hate comment right there. This guy says, and the truth comes out at the end. His Russian prank content creator calls ICE. I think he just meant to say like call ICE. Then another guy says, bro, you shouldn't have made this video to begin with. Well, first of all, you call me a bro. It's already offensive. Second of all, you're trying to teach me if I should or I should not make any videos. This guy says, this guy has no clue about the law. Bask TV try coming to Philippines and do exactly what Vitaly did. Well, first of all, I never planned to go to Philippines. And even if I would go to Philippines, I don't think I would go with the intentions of pranking local people. Probably go for vacation or visit some friends if I have any friends in Philippines. Second of all, I understand that I'm the only YouTuber who is doing the opposite of what the mass is producing these days about Vitaly and about this entire story. Like if you go on any other channels, you'll see everybody's just filming, recording videos what the mass wants to hear. That's the difference. That's why I'm receiving majority of comments like this. You see, in my first video I recorded about Vitaly, I didn't have intentions to defend Vitaly. Obviously, I actually accuse him of like being a moron. However, when I noticed people comment at me for just showing the opinion which is the opposite of theirs, not only I got mad because the people actually hating on my nation or my nationality, in fact, my nationality, people hating on my nationality, who I am. And I'll get to it why, because this whole video is about that. And it made me rethink this entire story one more time. I did watch Vitaly's video. I can see how this entire video looks bad because I used to do pranks. And coming from a former prankster, we only put moments in a video which are the more beneficial, which look good. When you do a live streaming pranks, I think that's gonna look like that. Like that's how it looked in the video of Vitaly. It does not look good when you're watching a clip on YouTube. Any of my old videos, if you watch pranks, this is just like the outcome of the video. Like you don't put the scenes where you just walking or you just mumbling or you just breathing. You don't put the scenes, you cut them out. However, in what Vitaly did, if somebody would have recorded that in post-production, edit that video and post it online, that video would look differently. And it's coming from a person who used to record videos, and we always focus on good shots only. We always focus on getting a perfect right angle, saying the right word during the scene, and then you just go in post-production and edit and you put the video and it looks funny. Most people laugh, most people like the video. When you're doing the live stream pranks, I guess that's how it looks. I didn't think about this in the moment. Now I'm thinking like, okay, so if it's a live prank, you're trying to take the police officer's hat, yeah, that's how it's gonna look. But if this was post-production edited, then that would have looked different probably. And again, I just stated a fact how it would have looked if it was edited in post-production. But now I know all of this minions gonna come at me right now. You're just defending Vitaly, you're his best friend, you don't understand our laws in Philippines, you're just a miserable human being. I mean, I already know what's gonna happen in the comments, which again, I'm referring you to. Leave the comment below and leave me a like, because I know there's some people that watch my videos and then they still give me a like, despite the fact that 50% on my last 2 videos are dislikes. That's normal. That's called mass. All right, let's move on to the most important part of the video. Why is every news outlet calling Vitaly a Russian YouTuber? I'm gonna pull up a couple of snapshots here and you tell me what's common among all of these snapshots. What does it say on each one of them? Russian vlogger, Russian YouTuber. Again, Russian vlogger. Let's talk facts. Vitaly was born in Russia, but he was raised in the United States, built his platform in the United States, spent most of his adult life in the United States. His platform is in English, not in Russian. He's a green card holder. How does that make him a Russian YouTuber? I'll show you what the Russian YouTuber is. I'm gonna put these people on the screen. These are the Russian YouTubers. You can go on YouTube and find them because they record their content in Russian. They represent Russia. They live in Russia, for God's sake. You have to be living in Russia to be a Russian YouTuber. But you can be a Russian YouTuber in the United States if your entire platform is in Russian. I mean, there's a bunch of Russian YouTubers I've known who live in Los Angeles and their channels are pretty much only in Russian and their entire audience is in Russian. They're Russian YouTubers. I even did a favor for you. I asked the GPT chat what the Russian YouTuber is, and the Russian YouTuber, based on what the GPT chat said, is someone from Russia living in Russia with most content in Russian for Russian audience. Do you get that? For Russian audience, in Russian, for Russian audience. Does Vitaly make content in Russian for Russian audience? Simple question. Versus the American Russian YouTuber is someone born in Russia, raised in America, culturally American, but with Russian roots. So the real question here is, why does the media narrative want to push the word Russian so badly? Because the word Russian YouTuber gets clicks, it adds hate, it triggers emotion, especially in 2025. I mean, thanks to years of Western propaganda and coverage of the Ukraine war, the term Russian has been villainized in the eyes of many. The US media and the allies did a great job painting an entire nation in black and white terms. See, saying American Russian YouTuber doesn't hit the same. It's too nuanced. And news today isn't about the nuance, it's about outrage. See, for many readers, Russian YouTuber arrested abroad confirms their existing bias. It fits the global narrative and sadly it makes for better headlines. Here's an example of a guy from H3 podcast. I don't know his name, you can drop the comment below, let me know who that guy is, but it seems like he doesn't accept the fact that if you come from overseas and you stay in the United States for long enough, let's say 10 to 15 years, and you speak fluent English or you build your business out here, you're still not American according to him. Let's watch what he has to say.
I think he's just a Russian dude.
I mean, at a certain point you become American.
Like
He's not even a citizen. I think he's on a green card.
Green card, that's a permanent residency, so that's your status. You're pretty much becoming a US citizen. It takes some time, but that's the process of being a green card holder.
Then, I mean, that's American enough.
Yeah.
American enough to get the hyphenated.
I don't want him to get that hyphen.
I feel like you're definitely
we're responsible for Vitaly. I'm sorry.
We're responsible for
If he
Vitaly
moved
just
here
as
when he
much
was
as
like
Russia
15.
is responsible. Vitaly still has the Russian citizenship, so technically Russia is also responsible for Vitaly. America on one side is responsible because Vitaly has lived here most of his life, most of his adult life. He speaks fluent English, his content in English, he has his brand in America. On the other hand, he still obtains the Russian citizenship.
He's not a citizen.
But he has a green card?
He's American?
Of course. If he has a green card, he's as American as apple pie, baby.
You know that people on green cards can get yeeted?
in my opinion, if you live in a country for more than 10 years,
he's lived his whole adult life in America.
There are plenty of Russians living in America don't speak English. They just don't have ability, or they've been here for long enough. Like in New York, for instance, what is it, Brighton Beach? A lot of Ukrainians, Russians, post-Soviet country people, they don't speak a single word of English. I don't consider them Americans, even though they lived here for 20 plus years. I don't think these people are Americans, because if you don't speak English, if you're not able to speak the language where you live for the past 20 years, I don't consider them to be Americans. That's just my opinion.
He's Russian American.
I don't buy it.
No.
Like, let's say if you move to, let's say, Brazil, and you lived there for 10 years, you're Brazilian? You're a Brazilian?
If you speak
American
Portuguese, if you know the vibes,
No.
Yes.
You're an American dude.
No, you would be American Brazilian.
I can see where it comes from, because I had to deal with this when I was growing up in the States. You trying to fit in because you came from a different country, but they don't accept you until the certain point, right? Because you don't speak English. I spoke zero word of English when I came to the States. That was challenging. So I can see where the main character comes from. These are just the basic facts. If you've been here for long enough, if you speak English, especially in Vitaly's case, he built the entire brand in English. How can you not be American? Just because you still have a green card, don't have the citizenship due to his violations, does not make you not American.
He's as American as any of us at this point. He's lived
Exactly.
here his whole adult life, his whole career was built
He
here.
was like, hold on.
No, he just
14.
said he's been here since he was 14. He's pretty
12.
American. If he's been here since a teenager, he knows more
Look,
about
guys, I don't know
American
why you're
culture.
so quick to want to claim him, okay?
Well, no, it's
why are you
it's
trying to
because you're
keep
trying to shirk responsibility.
You're trying to shirk responsibility because guy has built here his brand in English. He's been paying taxes for sure. I mean, had to pay tax because otherwise everybody would have known already that Vitaly never paid taxes to the United States. This is an example of a guy who does not want to accept the fact that we're part of your country because we became citizens at some point. I mean, I have a citizenship. When I was the green card holder, I was still an American. I was still paying taxes here. I still had jobs here. I was working. That just does not make me a non-American. That's how the world is. You go to Russia, you live there for long enough, you pay tax over there, you become a green card holder in Russia. I don't know what their status over there. You're technically a Russian American if you came from the United States. That's just how it works. He doesn't want to accept the fact that Vitaly is a Russian American YouTuber. The title Russian YouTuber doesn't just label Vitaly, it fuels hate. It feeds the idea that entire nationalities are to blame for the actions of one individual. Let's be real, it's not an accident that the media calls him a Russian YouTuber. Could have been just an American Russian YouTuber, right? But it's Russian YouTuber. It's strategic, deliberate. Since the war in Ukraine began, the Russia become the go-to villain in global politics, and the media runs on stories, especially the ones with good versus bad. Labeling someone as a Russian instantly ties them to the war narrative, even if they've got nothing to do with it. It's just a guilt by association. I'm not saying Vitaly is an innocent person. I'm trying to get to the point here. It's simple psychology. When people constantly hear Russian, they start to associate that word with danger, dishonesty, violence. So when they see Russian YouTuber arrested, their brain goes, oh my god, another Russian causing problems. Western democratic media, especially in countries that support Ukraine, benefits from keeping Russia in a negative spotlight. It justifies funding, foreign policy, military aid, and public support. So any opportunity to sprinkle a little more anti-Russia sentiment, they take it, even if it's just a Russian YouTuber getting locked up in the Philippines. Obviously, Vitaly has nothing to do with the war in Ukraine, but using the word Russian gets people emotionally changed. Instead of asking, is this fair? People start saying, well, he's Russian, so no, I'm not making this video about the headline. This is about the media manipulation. It's about planting an idea. If he's Russian, he must be bad. And that's exactly how the mass opinion gets manufactured. And to wrap up this video, to prove all of my statements, here's an example of Osman Gold during his live stream said this.
Why? Because he's stupid. No, really. Do you think that's the reason why he's Russian? So? That is even more reason. Yeah.
Even more reason, yeah.
Good one.
Good one. And, you know, what he does next? He laughs. He agrees. No pushback, no second thought. That's what people think of us now. Not because of who we are, but because of what we've been labeled as. This isn't about guilt, it's about perception. The media sets the tone and masses follow without thinking. If you ever wonder how propaganda works in real time, this is it.
Because he's stupid. No, really. Do you think that's the reason why he's Russian? So? That is even more reason. Yeah. Good one.